welcome to my YouTube channel. Those who are not subscribed my channel, please subscribe the channel. Those who already subscribed, please watch my videos, share my videos, like my videos, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notification for the next video. So now let us answer the Science State Level Preparatory 2023 Part C Biology, that is 27th question. So here the correct path of the movement of nerve impulse in neuron is ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಮೂವ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಡೆಂಡ್ರೈಟ್ ಇಂದ ಸೆಲ್ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಲ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ ಆಕ್ಸಾನ್ ಇಂದ ನರ್ವ್ ಎಂಡಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ 27 ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆಂಡ್ರೈಟ್. From the dendrite it moves to cell body, from the cell body to, that is, axon, from axon to nerve ending. So this is the correct path. Then 28th question, that is they have given the material that take more time to change their forms and structure are anta kottidane. So 28th ge option A DDT, BHC and insecticides. They will remain for long time in the environment. Then let us move for the 29th question. The 29th question is, that is, daughter cells generated by division of bacterium cell are more similar to each other. How anta kelidane. So 1 marks ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ಬರೋಣ. because it undergoes asexual type of reproduction. It undergoes asexual type of reproduction. Therefore the daughter cell will be similar to mother cell tarane daughter cell irutte, because no variation, ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಉಂಟಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So it will be similar to its parent. Next, let us move for the 30th question. Write two proper problems caused by construction of large dams. If we construct large dams, the main two problems is, one is social problem and the second one is economical problem. So social problem, economical problem, even though you can write environmental problem. Now let us move for 31st question. 31st question is, in the conservation of environment, reuse method is better than recycling method. Why? Because reuse does not require any energy. So recycling ಗೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ರೀಯೂಸಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಫಾರ್ 31st question. Now let us moving for the next question, that is 32nd question. So the 32nd question is like this: functioning of reflex arc is more efficient than the thinking process of the brain. Clarify this statement with scientific explanation. So ಇದು it is more efficient ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. Yes, the statement is right. Yes, the statement is right. Because the statement is right because thinking requires some time. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೈಮ್ನ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಟಚ್ ಎ hot object, immediately we will withdraw our hand This is because of reflex action. This is because of reflex action by spinal cord. If we think, or if brain controls this, if the brain controls this, it will take some time. It will take some time to response. By that time our body part may get damaged or injured. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಬ್ರೈನ್ಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ, ನಾವು ಕೈ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಬ್ರೈನ್, ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅದು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೈ ಸುಟ್ಟೋಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅವನೇನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ, that is functioning of the reflexes is more efficient anta kottiyane. Yes, reflex functioning is more efficient. So adike naviga we have given the scientific reason, because thinking will require some time. Our time nalli our body part may get damaged. So adrinda to avoid that one, we are that is reflex arc is the correct way to response for this one. ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಇದೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಕ್ವಾಟಿಕ್ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಕ್ವಾಟಿಕ್ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಫಿಶಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಫಿಶ್ ಇದೆ. ಇದರೊಳಗೆ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್, flow of energy in the increasing order. ಎರಡನೇದು flow of harmful substances in increasing order. So now let us move for the 14th main. That is that question is, explain the role of small intestine in the human digestive system anta ide. So small intestine, it consists of duodenum, jejunum and ileum. So ಮೂರು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಯೋಡಿನಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋಣ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಇದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವೈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಫುಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸ್ಟೊಮಕ್ enters to small intestine, that is to duodenum. This duodenum is connected to duodenum is connected to ಒಂದು, that is gallbladder, connected to gallbladder of liver and pancreas. Third point is that the bile juice from liver enters to duodenum and digest fat in the food. Then the pancreatic juice from pancreas will digest fat will be digested, and that fat will be digested by, so the pancreatic juice from pancreas will digest fat by enzyme called pancreatic lipase. Protein will be digested by an enzyme called trypsin, and carbohydrates by pancreatic amylase. So like it will be digested. So now fifth point is there is a small finger-like projection in small intestine called villi, which increases the area of absorption of digested food and carries digested food to blood. Therefore, the small intestine is the complete site. It is the complete site for digestion. So like this we have to explain about the small intestine. After that one we have to move for another question, function of nose and alveoli in the lungs. Nose, it is the passage for exchange of gas. Then it will filter the air by the airs present inside it. That means it removes foreign particles. That means it removes foreign particles. Then coming to alveoli, it is the functional unit of lungs. It is the functional unit of lungs. It is very delicate and surrounded by blood vessels. It helps in exchange of gases, and it is like a balloon like structure. In this structure both oxygen and carbon dioxide will get exchanged, which helps in respiration. So like this we have to answer for this question. Now we are moving for the next question. So that is 35th question. So now let us see what is the 35th question. So 35th question is, what are the hormones secreted by the following glands? Write one function of each of them ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ. So now ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇದರೊಳಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದೆ. The first question is thyroid gland. So what is the function of thyroid gland? So first ಏನು ಸೆಕ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. It secretes a hormone called thyroxine. Then what is the function of this hormone? So this hormone function is it regulates metabolism of carbohydrates. It regulates metabolism of carbohydrates, fats and proteins. Then the second gland is called adrenal gland. This adrenal gland will secrete a hormone called adrenaline, and the function is it helps the body to face emergency situation and controls heartbeat, blood pressure, and respiration. And third type of gland is called as testes. Testes will secrete a hormone called testosterone. It produces sperms and responsible for secondary secondary sexual character and responsible for secondary sexual character in male. So this is the answer for three types of gland and their secretion with their function. Next question is what is geotropism? So geotropism andre ಏನು ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. The movement of part of a plant in response to gravity of earth. In response to gravity of earth is called as geotropism. Which part of the plant shows negative geotropism? So negative geotropism anta bandaga that is shoot. Negative geotropism. So negative geotropism is shown by shoot. Next, write the function of the following plant hormones anta ide. So following plant hormones to function bariyana. First one axin kottidare. So axin the function helodadre it helps in elongation of cell. It helps in elongation of cells. Second function, it helps in bending of stem towards sunlight. So this is the function of axin. Now let us write the function of cytokinin. The first function of cytokinins, it helps in cell division. This is the first function. Second function is it helps in rapid cell division. It helps in rapid cell division of fruits and seeds. And the third one is it helps in opening of stomata. It helps in opening of stomata during daytime. Now let us answer the function of abscisic acid. Function of abscisic acid. First function, it causes wilting of leaves. And the second function is it helps in closing of stomata. It helps in closing of stomata during night time. So these are the functions of axin, cytokinins, and the third one is abscisic acid. Now let us move for 36th question. The 36th question is how Mendel identity the tall trait as the dominant and the short trait as recessive trait in the experiment conducted on pea plants anta ide. Adrolage innond sub question ide. Give one illustration to prove that the complicated organs such as eye evolved in stages anta ide. Now let us answer both the questions. So now let us answer this question. So Mendel ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, Mendel selected tall plant, capital T, and dwarf, small t, pea plants. when a tall pea plant is crossed with a short pea plant all the F1 progeny or offspring are tall, progeny are tall, or all they are tall. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ let us draw one checkerboard ಬರೆಯೋಣ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. The trait expressing itself in the progeny is called dominant one. This is called as law of dominance, and this is the first law of dominance, and this is stated by Mendel, and this is called as the first law of Mendel's experiment. So now idikon checker board bariyana ನಾವು. So tall plant having short plant having small t. So now during gamete formation, capital T half of the chromosomes, small t. Now let us write the checkerboard for this one. So now gametes, let us write F1 generation. So gametes, then here small t, capital T. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಟಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಟಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಟಿ, ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಟಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಟಿ, ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಟಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಟಿ, capital T cross with small t. So all the plant or all the baby plant or all the offspring will grows as a tall plant. That means here the trait that express itself is the dominant. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಸೊ ಟಾಲ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟಾಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟಾಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಸೊ ಇದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ. ಗಿವ್ ಆನ್ ಇಲಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೂವ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಸಚ್ ಆಸ್ ಐ ಎವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ 1 ಅಂತ ತಗೊತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರಿಮಿಟಿವ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಯೂಗ್ಲೀನ. ಸೊ ಯೂಗ್ಲೀನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಯೂಗ್ಲೀನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಯೂಗ್ಲೀನದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಫ್ಲಾಟ್ like structure, and this is a primitive organism called euglena. So ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನ ಐ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಐ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್. ಈ ಐ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್. ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಐ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್. ಇದಾದಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಯೂಗ್ಲೀನ, that we call it as this one as planaria. So planaria ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಈ ಐಸ್ ನ ನಾವು ರುಡಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಐಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. It is called as rudimentary eyes. ಸೊ ಈ ರುಡಿಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಐಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ಯುಗ್ಲಿನ ನಂತರ ಆದಂಥದ್ದು ಪ್ಲನೇರಿಯಾ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಯಿತು ಐ. ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಅದನ್ನು ರುಡಿಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಐಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ರುಡಿಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಐಸ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಲೈಟ್ನ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಇಟ್ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಟ್ so that even it can use its eye to protect from danger. ಸೊ ಎನಿಮಿಗಳಿಂದ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೊ ತನ್ನ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದವನು ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಐಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಐಸ್. ಸೊ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಐಸ್ನ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಐಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಐಸ್. ನೋಡಿ, ನಾವು ಈಗ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ಐಸ್ ಪಾಟ್ ಅಂದ್ವು, ಇದನ್ನ ರುಡಿಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಐಸ್ ಅಂದ್ವು. ಈಗ ಬರ್ಡ್ನ ಐಸ್ನ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಐಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಐಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಇದ್ರ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಮೆನಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಮೆನಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅದು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಮೆನಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಇದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಇದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಐ. ಸೊ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಐ. ಸೊ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಐ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೈನಾಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ಬೈನಾಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ಬೈನಾಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವಿಷನ್ ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ near as well as far object. As well as far object. So like this we have to answer, we have to give an illustration. Illustration ಕೊಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರೀಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಒಂದು ಯುಗ್ಲಿನದ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪ್ಲನೇರಿಯಾ ಐಸ್, ಪ್ಲನೇರಿಯಾದ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಬರ್ಡ್ನ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಐ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಐಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. So this is the answer for 36th question. Now we are moving for 37th question. The 37th question is a diagram. You have to write the human heart and you have to label upper vena cava and we have to label left ventricle. ಈ ಎರಡು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಲೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೀಜನರೇಷನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ and what are the reason for the increased accumulation of variation in sexual reproduction ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ now let us answer both the questions. ಸೊ ಈ ಎರಡು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವೀಗ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೀಜನರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ let us make a list of fragmentation and regeneration. Difference between fragmentation and regeneration.
According to Gametes, fragmentation is a method of asexual reproduction where an organism reproduces by the process of splitting into fragments and each fragment grows into an individual organism. Regeneration, on the other hand, happens when an organism regrows certain parts or limbs which is lost due to predation.
Let us make the list the differences between fragmentation and regeneration. So first one is fragmentation. It occurs through mitosis and no specialized cells and no specialized cells are involved. ಇನ್ನು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಸೊ ರೀಜನರೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ specialized cells are involved. Then the second difference is it occurs in lower organisms. It occurs in lower organisms. ಈ ಕಡೆ it occurs in higher organisms. It occurs in higher organisms. This is the second difference. Third difference is ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ all broken parts develops into new organisms. Here all broken parts do not develop into a new organism. So example, algae. Example for fragmentation, algae. Then flatworms. Then example for regeneration, it is sea stars. Then mammals. Like this we have to differentiate between that is fragmentation and regeneration. Now in this only one more question is there. Let us see that question. So one question is there, what is the reason for increased accumulation of variations in sexual reproduction ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರೀಸನ್ ಬರೆಯೋದಾದ್ರೆ because due to DNA copying, due to variation in DNA copying. So DNA ಕಾಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ it leads to accumulation of variation. So variation ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ DNA ಕಾಪಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ DNA ಕಾಪಿ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ it leads to variation. ಸೊ DNA ಕಾಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆದರೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಬಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮೆನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ದಟ್ ಅಕ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ವೆನ್ egg is not fertilized, when egg is not fertilized, the egg becomes vanish. The egg becomes vanish in the uterus. The linings, the three layers of blood vessels, of uterus will rupture. Due to this the blood will bleed through vagina. The blood will bleed through vagina, which is called as menstrual cycle. The function of the function of 3 layers of blood vessels, 3 layers of blood vessels of uterus is to protect fetus, to protect the fetus. But when but when when there is no fertilization, these blood vessels will rupture and the blood will bleed through vagina, and this is called as menstrual cycle, or we call it as monthly period. So like this we have to answer these questions. So successfully we have completed all the questions of biology also. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Those who are not subscribed, please subscribe my channel. Those who already subscribed, please encourage my videos, watch my videos, share my videos and like my videos. So thank you very much.